First I say, if you like that, please give me a like. And if you're interested, And we look at 1956 as the birth date, let's say, of today's company because it was the first truck. My father bought in 1956 the first truck. He started to do international transport from the beginning between Germany and Switzerland. He was the truck driver, so he was the first truck driver of our company and continued to do that for several years. And at this time, my mother was doing all the invoicing, all the administrative work and the bookkeeping of the company. 5 years later, in 1961, Hans realized that a production company here in the region was building a storage tank. And he went there and asked if that gives new opportunities for transportation. He was then buying a road tank truck with a truck and a trailer, each with a stainless steel tank, specially built for chemical transport. And as a matter of fact, this was the first liquid chemicals truck immatriculated at all in Switzerland. So it was an innovation here for the country to have such a transport means which is reducing the handling of drums basically. So my father had discussions with the customer, BASF, and they were looking for possibilities to transport chemicals from Germany to Italy. At this point there was no safe road connection to Italy, especially not in winter time. So he had the idea to put the trucks on the railway, shift this transport flow from road to rail, to use rails in Switzerland. This has never been done before, so my father proposed it to SBB. However, they said we don't want to work with our road competition, so refused to offer him a price. My father was very persistent because he saw quite an opportunity. A year later, they luckily changed management. A new manager for the cargo business was open, and my father could do the first test transport with tank trucks on train. They were successful, so it became a regular ongoing traffic, and this was a real pioneer work for the whole of Europe. It was the first time that road transport was shifted to intermodal rail in Europe, basically. Based on this engagement of my father, which was of course seen by some of his other colleagues and competitors in the sector as well, only 3 years later the company Hupac was founded as a joint venture between SBB, my father's company, and 3 other transport companies, offering intermodal services to the whole market in Europe. And this company in the meantime has become a European market leader in all intermodal transport which is still growing fastly due to all the initiatives to become climate neutral with transportation today. So at this time the company was also rapidly growing, and my father was looking for more support, especially on the technical side. That's why he called then his youngest brother, Rolf, who was a technical engineer and at the time worked in Canada, and asked him if he would not join him to grow the business. Rolf came back and they together then founded the Verci AG. Verci AG today is still the legal entity in which most of our business activity resides. And the two were very, very complementary. Rolf was focusing on the technological development, and my father was focusing on the commercial growth of the company. Looking at this first 8 years of company development, a lot of what we are today has been laid there. First, the chemical logistics activities, then the pioneering work in intermodal transport, which today is still our core business. But I think even much more important, the company values, the very strong customer orientation to put the customer first, the pioneering activity, pioneering work, and then also the persistency to make innovations work and to put them into service. Coming from this long-term history of generations, being in the transport industry, we have also long-term thinking as a family company, being thankful to our ancestors for what they have built as a foundation, but also feeling obliged to the long-term future regarding the services we offer, services which are sustainable, which help to improve the sustainability of global distribution of chemical products. If you like this sequence, please give me a like. Make sure to subscribe to Verci Group on YouTube. Of course, I hope you will also look into the next video where we will focus on the containerization and the growth it brought for the company.